So, do you want a really quick cupcake decorating idea? Come and have a look. So, we've got some vanilla buttercream, we've got a piping bag and a 1A piping tip. That's just a normal circle. If you don't have one of these tips, it doesn't matter. You don't need one, and I'll show you how to get around that. We've got some strawberries, a knife, some lovely strawberry jam, and a cupcake, a pre-made cupcake. What we're going to do first, we're going to start by fitting our piping bag. So, if you've not done this before, just push your piping bag through your piping tip. When it just pops its head out there, put your thumb at the base of the piping tip just there, and we're just going to cut it straight across. Now, if you don't have one of these tips at home, it doesn't matter, because you can just cut a line across your piping bag and it will work in exactly the same way. So we'll then put our tip into our bag and push it all the way through. Now, with this kind of tip, you want it to be as low as you possibly can. And the reason being is when you're squeezing it later on, when it's full with buttercream, you don't want the piping tip to burst and go everywhere. I've seen lots of, piping bags that have burst. It's happened to me as well in the past. And the way I've got around it is to make sure that the edge of my piping bag is not too far up the piping tip. We're then going to quickly fill our piping bag. I've got a much longer video on how to do this on my Christmas cupcake video. So you can definitely have a look at that, and we'll pop a link in this video below so you can see that in more detail. So I'm just filling my piping bag here, and then I can move that out of the way. We're going to then just lift our piping bag out. We want to make sure we have no pockets of air in here. What happens if you've got an air pocket, I can't even say it, an air pocket, the piping bag will just go plop. It will make that really strange sound. And what it will do is it will spoil the look of your piping. So the way you avoid that is just by pushing it down with all your might. Push it down, and then you can feel if there's any air bubbles. They feel like little balls in there, but there's none in there now. And I can just twist my piping bag and I'm ready to go. I'm then going to take my lovely cupcake. We've got a really great cupcake video. Check that out. That teaches you how to make my cupcakes from scratch, so they're light and buttery and fluffy. Today we're going to make a posh Victoria sponge with a cupcake. So in the UK, it's finally getting to that time of year where the weather's getting a little bit better. And what's better than a nice little English treat than a posh little Victoria sponge? So take your cupcake out of your case, and then I'm just going to get a bread knife and just cut it in half, like so. Try and keep your bread knife really still so you go all the way down. Don't, go at a funny angle or anything. So what we're then going to do is take our piping bag, make sure the top's twisted, and we're just going to pipe a little ring of buttercream just around here. So we're going to squeeze, stop squeezing and pull. Squeeze, stop squeezing and pull. Squeeze, stop squeezing and pull. I'm going to repeat that again, otherwise you're going to get sick of my voice. And we can just squeeze one more in there like that. So you've got a nice ring of buttercream. Give your jam a little stir. And I'm just going to blob that just into the centre. Now what you want is you want to encourage it to just go out through that piping a little bit. So when you put the lid on, it just looks really pretty. So I'm just moving that out. I'm going to take a strawberry, just cut that through. And I'm just going to cut some nice little pieces of strawberry. I think this just really elevates it and makes it feel a little bit more special. So we're just going to cut those into little pieces. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be really fancy and just pop those on top of the buttercream like that. I'll put another one there. Make sure I don't drop them. Another one there. There. Another one there. We'll cut another one out as well. And we'll put that in there. Then what I'm going to do is just put a tiny bit of buttercream just in the centre so it's got something to stick to. And we'll pop that just on top. How pretty does that look? So all I'm then going to do, I'll move that out of the way, is I'm just going to take a little bit of icing sugar and we're just going to finish it off so it's nice and pretty. So a little bit of icing sugar just into a little sieve. Just sprinkle a bit on top. But how pretty does that look? If you wanted to, you could chop your strawberry in half if you wanted to. This one's a little bit big, I think, for this, but you could just place your nice strawberry just on top like that. Get a little board. Can you imagine if you've got loads of these, if you've made 6 cupcakes the way we did earlier on today? How pretty does that look if you've just got your 6 cupcakes just in a circle? What do you think? Really quick, really easy.